and welcome to Cara Brandon Creations. I am here with the kickoff of the 2025 Declutter and Get Organized collaboration. Today I am sharing with you the debrief that Dana and I did after my 1 hour better with her, and you'll see this is the after. I will have a link below to the video where we clear off the majority of my floor in 1 hour, and we'll kind of talk about the process. So this video is the after of that 1 hour better, and we're debriefing. We're kind of talking about how I felt about the process. So first, go watch the full video about the 1 hour better on her channel, and then come on back. And then if you want even more inspiration, in the links of the 1 hour better, there are 5 or 6 other crafty gals who also did 1 hour better with Dana's decluttering coaches. So lots of inspiration to kick off this declutter and organize collaboration for 2025. And then come back tomorrow for, I think it's just the 3rd, Friday, January 3rd, and Dana and I will kick off the prompt for this week. So every Friday through the month of January, we will have a prompt and talk about the best way to tackle that prompt. And then at the end of the month, we'll bring your questions. We're going to have a Q&A session about all of this decluttering process. And even better, even more, every day throughout the month of January, I have asked many of our favorite crafters to talk about their favorite organization in their craft room, whether it be a tour of their craft space or a specific area that they really feel that they have organized well. And those links will be throughout the month. I've created a calendar, and those will be updated each day, so you can see who will be the next day talking about their space. And then if you have subscribed, liked, and commented on all the videos, Dana has graciously offered to send her best-selling book to the winner of the person who will, all of the people who have liked, commented, and subscribed will put in the wheel like I've done in the past, and then we'll pick a winner, and they will win Dana's book. Very exciting. All right. I hope you join us through the month of decluttering and getting organized. It's a great way to kick off 2025. I'm super excited about this collaboration. And now let's check out the debrief. Wow.
How do you feel about what we did in an hour?
That was good. It was a little stressful at times, but it was good.
Did you feel it was more or less stressful than you would have thought it would be to get to this point?
It was less stressful.
Is there anything that you set aside that now all of a sudden you've got all this work to do before you can stop?
No.
Okay, that's the no mess process, right? Is we go item by item. We didn't finish in an hour, but you made so much more progress than if you had thought, well, I need to set aside a whole day or whatever. Did we make more or less progress than you expected?
More. I did not expect to go through that box of vintage stuff.
And everything has an actual home now.
Yeah.
So the goal is to give things real homes. And I think one of the keys with crafting spaces is that it's important to have room to work, right? Mm-hmm. Because yes, this room is storage, but it's not just storage, it's work. And so the more that things are just out in your space that you need to be able to get to your printer and you need to be able to get to the stuff, it keeps you from being able to actually do the crafting in here. So, yeah.
And it takes away the joy.
Right.
It takes away I want to go work on something, because you just know it's a hot mess. Yeah. And so it's not as creative. I definitely feel more creative when my space is more decluttered and organized. It feels better.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about, you mentioned, and I think this is a major fear that crafters have if someone's going to help them declutter, right? Mm-hmm. You mentioned that your fear was that your stuff would be called garbage or trash, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that fear of somebody coming in and telling you it's all trash and you shouldn't have it?
Not all of it, but I think when it comes to like the vintage antique stuff, there's definitely people who that's their thing, and other people are like, "Why are you holding on to this?"
So do
You
you
know?
feel like that's the fear of having someone in to help you declutter, is that that's what they're going to tell you, is
I
that you
don't
should
think that's the fear. I think it's the actual state of the entire room, which is embarrassing. Like, how did I get here? You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
do
And
you
why do I keep putting it off to spend time an hour to start doing it?
yeah.
I think
Well,
that's more what it is.
the reality is, what I would tell you to do after what we did today, okay, we made tons of progress.
Mhm.
What I would tell you to do is to take the other 3 items that are on the floor and do
Mhm.
exactly what we were doing, which
Mhm.
was every single little thing in them and them themselves, those
Mhm.
plastic containers, it has to have a home. And if it doesn't have an actual home, then something else needs to leave,
Mhm.
right? Because the reality is, if you keep on adding and you keep on adding, then this room becomes unusable.
Mhm.
And then you're not able to do the crafting.
Mhm.
And if you're not able to do the crafting, then what's the point of having a craft room, right? Like it's self-defeating, the
Yeah.
whole like creativity, gather, 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 but then I gather to the point where I can't do the thing, and then I'm not actually being creative, right?
Yeah.
And so it's that continue to go through it, and it felt like there were several times. What was the thing that you thought was going to be a really hard decision as we
Just
went?
that the box, like, just opening the box, I was like, "Oh my gosh. There's so much in here, and where is it gonna go?" You know? And knowing that that box is also a project in and of itself, you know, like the scanning and then the listing of the things and, um,
But
yeah,
all those things now have a home,
they do.
right? And so the box is gone. The box is no longer that overwhelming thing of dread, right?
Right,
I mean, we
right,
saw it in your body language. You were like, we can't do this. Like, we're not going to deal with this, right?
right. But it feels better, and it feels a heck of a lot better that there's now free space. Like, my kids can actually get to the printer now,
Yeah,
right? Like, ugh, yeah.
to do the scanning.
Do the scanning and or print stuff for school. They
Yeah.
don't have to, you know, do that to get to the printer.
And we didn't just say, well, we're never going to be able to scan. We said, no, we're going to put it in the place where you'd look for it. And then now when you scan that stuff, is that stuff that can leave the house now once it gets scanned?
Yeah, and list it. Yeah, if I yeah, to sell it or put it in kits. Yeah.
Right. Right. So, yeah, the thing I would tell you to do is go through each little thing there and then go through the desk surface, which I have
Mhm.
a little feeling like maybe that needs its own thing, but whatever, right? Like we that's the reality of a craft space. But you would go
Uh-huh.
through the same process. You would take the trash out first because
Mhm.
then that makes it a little less overwhelming because it has
Mhm.
less stuff on there. And then you would take the deal with the easy stuff, the stuff that you already do know what to do with. So that gets that out
Mhm.
of there. And then is there anything obviously that can be donated? That's your dud donation. And
Mhm.
then you're gonna keep working just going item by item. If I needed this item, where would I look for it first? And then the container concept, which is embracing the reality of the actual space, which we did throughout it. But that one time when you had the grab bag stuff that you had gotten in the mail, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And which I mean, I love a grab bag, right?
Mhm.
But we don't always end up needing all of it. But having that be the way that you do that means that I don't have to go through it and go, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is it a good thing? It's all great, right? Like it's all good.
Mhm.
But just putting it in the actual space in the container, putting your favorites in first, just naturally sort it out. Oh, actually, this can go, and this can go,
Yeah.
and this can
Yeah.
go, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was fun. Did you have
Yeah,
fun?
I
Or
did. I
are you
did.
regretting it?
What?
Are you?
What? I'm not regretting it at all. No, 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 no. And what's crazy is what, like 2 years ago when I was listening to your book on Audible or whatever, And to think that here I am now and you're helping me, it's pretty cool. Like, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad you contacted me because crafting is a real challenge for people, right? So I have to promote what we're doing, which is that you have other crafters who are participating, and they are doing 1 hour betters with my coaches because I have coaches who I have trained and certified in my method, my no mess decluttering process. And they help people all the time going through virtual sessions, in-person sessions, going through their spaces using this process. So we've got other crafty YouTubers who have done their own 1 hour better sessions, and those are linked here in the description of this video, so you can go and watch that. But anybody can go out and hire a coach at declutteringcoach.com who will use this method, right? Because a big part of my goal in us doing this today was, and I think it's the thing that, well, it is the thing that like differentiates my method, right? Is you can stop at any point. And we stopped at 1 hour, and this space is only better off. You didn't like pull everything out and make all these piles, and then life happens and you have to go pick up the kids from school, or you just get tired or whatever, and you're like, I'm done and I can't be done, right? Because now I've got piles of stuff everywhere and I really can't do anything. Instead, it's we only made progress. That's the key.
Yeah. All right. So that is the debrief. It really did help. And having 1 hour to get my craft space started in that process has really helped with the motivation. If you have questions, link them or post them in the comments below. And don't forget to come back tomorrow when Dana and I will talk about this week's prompt. All right. I'm so excited about this collaboration. All right. I hope you have a wonderfully crafty day. Bye-bye.